I'm going to tell you why it's a bad idea to apply Google's and Meta ads recommendations and just apply them. It is a really bad practice, and I highly encourage you to avoid doing so because it's not always in your best interest. And naturally, people believe that applying, whether it be opportunity score or, on the Google side, you get your recommendations, you see this score go up because you're applying the recommendations that the ad platform themselves is recommending, and you assume that's a good thing, right? Like in school, we're kind of conditioned to believe if we get an A or an A plus that we're smart or we're doing better. And they really take advantage of that because what they're recommending many times is not ideal for your business. And we will look at the recommendations on Meta or Google Ads, but we end up dismissing well over half of them. They may recommend going broad keywords across the board, turning on AI Max campaigns on the Google side, or like just things that may not make sense for you as a business owner and your particular business. And what often happens too is you become a guinea pig, and these platforms encourage you to apply these recommendations so that there are newer forms or new networks available you end up getting exposure to, but they don't really have much data, it's not tested, and you kind of become a guinea pig. I can say this because not only have we been in business almost 15 years coming up in a couple months, but we are a Google partner. We have our partnerships with all the big platforms. And one thing I've always done in business with my partner Ed is we've been very transparent. And most of these things are bullcrap. Like Google partner, anyone could be a Google partner. There's certifications we slap on our website because some people do value those things, but in my opinion, very much so over leveraged. It doesn't really mean too much. It means you have a lot of clients or you spend a good amount of money. Sure, there's some credibility to it, but I have to really stress the fact that these platforms do not have your best interests in mind. So these recommendations, if you don't have to worry about if you're a client of ours because we take care, we analyze, and we dismiss the ones that we know are not going to help serve you from our own data and us knowing what works for our client's best interest. But a lot of times, same with the Google reps, Meta reps, or Pro reps, they're trained to sell you. And we have actually hired employees from team members from these companies. So like, for instance, we just made a hire recently, somebody who worked within Teleperformance, which is a part of Google. And, they're the people that call you up, hey, I'm your ad specialist. And like even just talking to Kyle, and we've had other team members that have history working with these divisions within Google and Meta. They're trained to sell, and they're trained to get you to do platforms to the point where, or new networks, new campaign types that make you the guinea pig. And I've had these conversations many times. We don't entertain Google's reps or Meta reps because we know they want you to spend more and they want you to try some of their newer solutions, and they'll use the word solution heavily, where you're really just, they're going to see if it works, right? They want to get some data for their side as well. And there's a really interesting thing, and I've dealt with this in my career. If you're spending, $100 million a year, or even like 10 million plus on a platform, typically you get a whole different perspective. And it's the small, medium-sized business owners that get taken advantage of because the enterprise companies have reps that you don't have access to as a small, medium business owner that are advising you very different things than the traditional rep and the traditional recommendations that you see. It's really interesting to see. I've been through it. I've dealt with it. I've worked with, the head of Facebook Auto in the past. I've seen how money talks. And one thing with us is, as a small, medium business owner, we care about your business is doing and that it's growing, but we don't care where you're starting and where you're starting with us. And we really just give you what's going to get results and matter most to the business. So I really want to put this out there because Google, Meta, they're pushing aggressively on just accept all the recommendations. They have ads advisor that's going to say just click these buttons and they're going to apply some things. They're also starting to force recommendations, which is getting a lot of backlash from the marketing community. I've seen it completely tank accounts where you could implement all broad keywords, let's say on the Google side, and you're coming up for all kinds of irrelevant terms. And then the people turn on AI Max, and then AI starts optimizing for spam. It looks good on paper because it looks like you're getting leads, but it's primarily spam. And the algorithm thinks you're getting leads, but you're getting spam, and it starts getting more spam. So that's where Performance Max can work really well, but you really need strong management and to know what's actually happening from the lead perspective. So that was an important video to make just because I'm seeing a lot of this where people are listening to the platforms and they don't have your best interests in mind. And at the end of the day, we want to retain our clients. So to do that, we're performance driven, where Google's just let's get you to spend because you're going to use one of the big platforms either way. So increase your spend with us. That's kind of the way they look at things. So I thought it was an important thing to cover.